Well, so Kia started the party with the Seltos and they no more to give up that party. In fact, they're all set to increase that party and make it bigger with the Carnival. Yes, this is a 7, 8 or 9 seat MPV and it does take on the likes of the Toyota Innova, but it also takes on the likes of some other luxury cars out there. Now in terms of the looks, I think this car looks really smashing on the outside. This huge and big headlamp as well as that tiger grille from Kia really makes this car stand out. In fact, it's a car which looks very stylish. It's one of those few 7-seater MPVs which looks stylish and you can be proud of this car. But what is it like to drive? What is it like to sit in? And how is the interior in terms of the quality? I'll tell all those things to you today. But before that, let me just play some music for you and show you around the car so you can make your own judgment. Which is the better looking car? Is this the better looking car? Or does the Innova Krista still have a chance? Let me know by clicking on this pop-out banner. Thanks for watching. Well, so here I'm inside the cabin of the Kia Carnival, and the first thing that you'll tell yourself as soon as you enter this car is that, oh no, every other car from rupees 20 odd lakhs all the way up to rupees 35 odd lakhs is in trouble, because the cabin is really great in terms of quality, in terms of its overall ambience, as well as in the features list. This is a car which will not only trouble a lot of other MPVs, but will easily triumph over a lot of luxury cars in terms of the ambience, opulence, as well as the features. It really does feel like a very luxurious and a very posh place to be. Now in terms of the features list, let me just tell you what this car comes with. It comes with cool front seats. It comes with not one but two sunroofs. There's one here and one at the back. You also get traction control, you get hill climb assist, you get ESP, you also get multiple airbags all across the cabin, and the list is really a very long one. An 8-inch touchscreen along with the Harman Kardon music system. So really it's a very impressive list. What's also impressive is the seat comfort. The seats in the front are extremely supple, extremely good, extremely well cushioned in terms of the comfort, and even when you're on the long journeys you will not feel tired in the least. What you'll also like is the amount of cubby places all across, because you get this huge box here which can house not one, not two, but at least 5 iPads. Yes, it's as deep and as big as that. You get wireless charging for your mobile phone, and if you have an old and outdated phone like mine, an iPhone 7, you should really throw it away and not keep it inside such a fancy car, because this car really is very opulent in terms of the overall cubby places. I just said you get one place to keep your mobile phone as well as other paraphernalia, and you get a couple of glove boxes, and both of them are quite large and decent, and the top ends are large enough to house those big 1 liter bottles. At the moment it has this small coconut juice which I just finished. Now before jumping in the back seat, I just want to show you one thing which shows you the amount of attention to detail, and that is when you move this sun blind, there's an extension on it. So that is for when you do this. Otherwise this area normally is left out by other car manufacturers, and there's some spots of sun which do trouble you, but Kia has thought about it and done this. And once you put it in place, you also get a mirror over here, and there's a small light which is on, so that's something very good. You get it for both the passenger as well as the driver, and there are a host of buttons over here. 2 of them are for the powered doors at the back, the sliding powered doors, and of course there's one for the tailgate as well, and the others are just for the lights. Now another very good thing and a very cool feature is that normally when you pop this little thing over here, it has place to keep your sunglasses in it, but not in this car, because it's such a long car, it's such a wide car. This has a small mirror so you can see all the occupants inside the car and have a chat with them and talk to them. So if you have kids at home, you can always tell them, I'm looking at you, I know what you're doing, I can see you from here. And that is also a very thoughtful touch from Kia Motors. So again, very impressive place to be. Strong score of 10 out of 10. Well, so here I'm in the back row of the Kia Carnival, and as you can see, knee room and leg room is more than sufficient. It's more than adequate. It's like a plot that you have in Faridabad you get the same kind of space on that plot, and you have the same kind of space inside this car. It's a joke. It's a poor joke, I know, but don't say my jokes will become poor. You know what I'm trying to say. It is huge in terms of the space inside. Legroom is massive. Headroom also is more than sufficient. And of course, these are captain seats, so you can easily move them around. You can lie down like this, go off to sleep, and you can also move this little incline over here and stretch it and just sit here like the boss all day long. You don't have to worry about anything, and move the seat all the way back. If you are someone who enjoys a game of golf or two, then you can of course if you are someone who enjoys a game of golf or two, then you can always stretch yourself out and relax in this car and go back home. In the floorboard is also almost completely flat. In fact, it is flat, so you can easily stretch your feet around here, have a chat with whoever's sitting over here, and really enjoy that drive. A bit of a negative though inside this car is that the controls for the rear AC are over here on the right side. There's nothing on the left side, so if you are someone who's sitting over here and you want to jump on this side, then you will have to constantly keep jumping if you don't want to sit behind the driver, so you'll have to move around. That's a bit of a negative, but the positive is that you get such a big blind over here, so you can roll it up and save yourself from the sun. And of course, if you want to keep it rolled up and sit like the boss, that also is something you can do. This door of course is powered, and it's a single touch function. Just press this button and it opens up, and once it opens up, it reveals a very wide aperture, which is really good news for people who want to just walk inside the car and don't want to crawl in or crouch. So that's also something which is great about this car. Again, if you want to close it, it's a one touch function, and you also get a little bit of handlebar to get in and out of this car. The other big highlight of course is this huge screen, which you can use via your USB and watch a movie or two while you drive down from Delhi all the way up to Chandigarh. So what I'm essentially trying to say is that the back seat is great. And before I forget, this car also comes with an air purifier. It's a smart pure air system and before I forget, let me just tell you that this car also comes with an air purifier. The Kia company calls it the smart pure air, which essentially means that you get a breath of fresh air every time you drive in this car. There's also a USB and AC 220 volt charging point over here for your laptop and mobile devices. Overall, a great place to be. I'll give it a strong score of 10 out of 10. The seats also are exemplary. If you think that the Toyota Innova has the best seats in the business, this one is a step and a half above that car in terms of seat comfort. Excellent support for your under thighs, excellent support for your lower back, and just an excellent car to be for those long highway trips. 10 out of 10. Now let's jump in the last row of seats and see how good they really are. Well, so here I'm in the last row of the Carnival seats, and this is of course a 7-seater version of the car. You can also get it in 8-seater version and a 9-seater version, and the space in the back, I have to say, is more than sufficient. It's really exemplary. And if you are someone who's about 5'10" like me, or maybe a little taller, about 5'11" or 6, or even 6'1", you'll have plenty of place over here. Knee room is good, headroom is more than sufficient, and you get your own AC vents at the back. You also get a couple of beverage holders on both corners, and you'll also get a USB charging point. What's also good about these seats is the fact that you can incline and recline them. You can do this, and you can easily do this and go off to sleep, and of course belt up and roll up the blind over here and tell whoever's sitting in the front not to talk to you till you get home, because you don't want to be disturbed and just want a peaceful sleep on the way home. So it's an excellent place to be. It's also a wide car, so having 3 at the back is not an issue. The last row of seats deserves a strong score and the best score of 10 out of 10. Now let's see how good the boot is with all 3 rows up. Well, so talking about the boot capacity, the dicky capacity of this car, if you stow away the last row of seats, as I've done right now, you get a very massive and a very impressive 1600 liters. Yes, it's in excess of 1600 liters, which is big enough to take that fridge or maybe a couple of ACs from Vijay Sales and take them in style in your car. Of course, if you want more seats and you want more occupants and you're getting some people from the airport, all you do is simply do this and take the seats out, and once you lock them in position, even after that there is plenty of place available. It's a very simple operation, just a one-handed thing. You don't need too many people to do that. And of course, once you get it at the right angle, nobody sits like this in a car. Once you get the backrest at the right angle, after that also you get over 500 liters of space, which is impressive, because this space over here where the seats were stored away becomes empty, and you can load in a lot of big bags away. In fact, you can load it all the way up to here, and 540 odd liters is what Kia claims. Very impressive indeed. I'll give the boot of this car a full score of 10 out of 10. Now, before you say that I've taken money from Kia to only praise this car, go to a dealership, test it out for yourself, and then think about writing in the comments, because don't write anything which comes to your mind, because those things do hurt me a little bit, and it's the positivity which really keeps us going. So check this car out. Very impressive boot. 10 out of 10. So here I am driving the Kia Carnival. Now this car only comes with one engine option, and that's a 2.2 diesel. There's no petrol on offer, but you will not miss a petrol, because the diesel on this car is just as refined and just as responsive as any other petrol will be. In fact, I really had to look at the rev count over here to ensure that I was not driving the petrol, or there was no petrol on offer. It is that quiet and that good in terms of the refinement levels. Now it's a 200 bhp unit. It's a 2.2 liter diesel, and you also get an 8-speed automatic gearbox. There's no manual, there's only an automatic on offer. So those are the things which you need to remember. You also get about 440 newton meters of torque, and these are very good figures and very capable figures, and definitely slightly ahead of the Toyota Innova, which is its main rival. Now, no MPV can truly be called a driver's car or keen driver's car, and I'm not saying that the Carnival is a great car for keen drivers or enthusiasts, but that said, this car rides quite well, and it also has a very communicative steering wheel. It's very accurate, and of course you can't take it out on a racetrack, but even then you can feel the accuracy, because it is very well weighed. Also, the steering wheel is very well weighed, and it'll always give you a very good amount of feedback. Now, in terms of the engine responsiveness, it does suffer from a little bit of turbo lag below around 1500 rpm, 1600 rpm, but once you get it above that rpm figure, the engine performs really well, and it goes all the way up to its red line of 4500 rpm without any fuss whatsoever. So that's also something very good. What you'll also like is the exemplary ride quality. Yes, the ride comfort on this car is truly brilliant, and it just soaks in the bumps no matter what speeds you're doing. You might be doing slow city speeds, you might be doing faster speeds. This car just soaks in those bumps. It feels like it's gliding on a wave of clouds or something like that. It is so good, and not only is it better than its main rival, which is the Toyota Innova, it is much better than a lot of other luxury sedans out there. In fact, if you're in the market for a luxury car, then I would reckon you should definitely check this one out, because of the overall suspension tuning that Kia Motors has given to it. Now, it might be a big car to drive, but because it's got a very light steering wheel, it's quite nimble around the town. Yes, it does have a very big size, so it is a very big car to drive, but that said, you'll never feel cumbersome, or you'll never feel overwhelmed with the size of this car, because the steering is light and you get excellent visibility all across. The visibility really is very good on this car. You get chunky mirrors on both sides. You get a big mirror here where you can really see quite far back, and you also get quarter glass windows behind or next to the A-pillars. So visibility, as I just said, is not a problem in the least. What's also not a problem for this car is the mile munching ability. You can simply put it on cruise control like this if you get a good highway, like the Mumbai-Pune highway, and drive this car all day long, and this car will eat up the kilometers without any problems. So it's a great car for long distance journeys, it's a great car for short city trips, and it's a great car for people who love to drive themselves. Well, so the party which Kia started with the Seltos will continue with the Carnival, because this car is a very good luxury liner. Yes, it offers you a very comfortable, very practical and very luxurious cabin, a very strong diesel engine, and it's also big in terms of refinement as well as features. In fact, if you're in the market for an MPV which you can be proud of, then definitely this is a car you should check out. In fact, if you're in the market for a luxury car also, which really does exemplify luxury, then this is a car which you check out, and forget all those other traditional sedans out there. I'll give this one a strong score of 95 out of 100. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching.